Today I'm going to be going over every card in EB02. Hello and welcome to the table, and let's dive right into the set review, starting off with good old Karu. Just a draft card, a 5 cost, 7k, 1k counter. Nothing too special. It's just gonna be played in draft, not really anything else. But Sabo, on the other hand, seems like it could be a card in Bello Betty, perhaps? It's a 4 cost, 5k, 2k counter that has an activate main of resting himself and up to one of your Revolutionary Army type characters other than Sabo gets plus 2,000 power during this turn. Seems decent enough. I mean, power buff in a deck like Betty that cares about Revolutionary Army type cards seems decent, seems powerful. I don't know if it's going to be played in the deck, but it seems like a decent card and a pretty solid, powerful card as well. But then there is Tony Chopper. 3 cost, 3k, 1k counter that, for Dawn 2, during your opponent's turn, Chopper gets plus 2,000 power. So basically, if there's 2 Dawn under Chopper, always going to be a 5k. Which is pretty cool, no matter what turn it is. And on play, if your leader has a Straw Hat type crew, or crew type, give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. So in the original Luffy starter deck, the one that cares about giving Rested Dawn out to himself or other stuff, this card could be pretty good in it. It's not an insane deck by any means, but it's cool that there are cards that can go in the deck now from like modern day-ish stuff. But then there is Don Asino, an 8 cost 10k, 1k counter. Not a draft card, just simple vanilla. But, I mean, it's cool art. It's just like full art, just kind of getting a look at a ton of cool stuff. I don't remember what powers he has, but yeah. Anyways, then there is the fake Straw Hat crew. It's a 2 cost 3k. But during your turn, it gets plus 2,000 power, so 2 cost 5k during your turn. But during your opponent's turn, this character gets minus 2,000 power, so during your opponent's turn, it's a 2 cost 1k power character. So, it sucks that this thing can somehow, like, hit and compete against, like, a 5k leader, but it's fine. It's just like, it's... Nobody's going to really play it still because it doesn't have a counter, and even the fact that it could potentially hit a leader once, it's 1k power most of the time, which, I don't know. The card doesn't seem very good to me, but it's funny. But then there's Yamato, which, they knew what they were doing with this one, if you know what I mean. It's a 6 cost, 7k, no counter, but it seems like a pretty solid card because it has an activate main once per turn if your leader has the Land of Wano type or is Portgas the Ace. You give up to 1 Rested Dawn card and up to, or 2, one of your leaders. Then this character gets Rush during this turn. Seems pretty powerful. I mean, Yamato, yeah, this card I think is going to see play. It can give out, like, Rested Dawn to leaders to make him a little bit beefier, during, like, the offensive. Yamato can get rushed by doing that. That can happen. You can do that every single turn, and this is a 6 cost 7k, so it's a big body. It's gonna be pretty hard to kill. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on with Yamato, and the art helps, if you know what I mean. But anyways, then there is Cloven Rose Blizzard. This card is pretty cool. It's a 3 cost event with the main ability of up to 3 of your leader and character cards get 1,000 power during this turn. So 1 leader and 2 characters or 3 characters. But then you get to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. So, seems decent. I don't think it's insane by any means, but, I mean, the art's really cool, and I don't know, I like it. But it has a pretty cool trigger as well of getting to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less. Seems like a good card in draft. Outside of that, don't know. It might see play somewhere. I don't know where, but it just doesn't seem to make the cut, in my opinion. Then there is the Peak. This card is really cool because of the Land of Wano, the last Land of Wano intro, because there are about 15 of those because of how long it was, but I am fine with that. But the Peak is just cool art from that intro, and I really like it, and it's kind of like sketchbook kind of art, so it's like not... I don't know, I like it. Like, it doesn't seem too fancy, but I like what it's doing. But it's a 2-cost event with the main ability of getting a look at the top 4 cards of your deck, revealing up to 1 card of the cost of 4 or more, and add it to your hand. Then you place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order, and it has a trigger of doing the main effect. Seems decent enough. I mean, it's drawing cards, it's replacing itself, it can get you a bigger thing. It seems fine. Nothing insane, but I like the art, and it's really cool because it's like sketchbook art, and I don't know. I like that. It's cool. But then there is Thousand Sunny. This is a reprint, I'm pretty sure, but it's a 2-cost stage with an activate main of getting the rest of the stage and giving up to 1 of your currently given Dawn card to one of your Straw Hat crew type characters. So this is not a reprinted card, but it's very similar to the original Thousand Sunny stage from the Luffy starter deck, the original red Luffy starter deck. Similar, I think it's, well, I don't know. It's better in some cases, worse in others, but it's a decent card. It's nothing insane, it's not going to break the game, but it seems like a card that could maybe go as like a one-of in some red Straw Hat decks here and there, maybe, perhaps. But then, there is something really spicy. The new Monkey D. Luffy, the green and purple Monkey D. Luffy, with 4 life, 5k power, and an activate main once per turn of Dawn -2ing, and if the only characters on your field are Straw Hat crew type characters, which in a Straw Hat deck, not too hard to do, you get to set up to 2 of your Dawn cards as active. Seems fine, but then, more importantly, this leader gets 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. The thing is, that's kind of insane, because setting up some Dawn, sure, it can allow you to play some more stuff, but it can also allow you to be a little bit more defensive. You need to play certain really powerful events, like, I don't know, Gum Gum Giant, perhaps? And the fact that this gets plus 1,000 power for the rest of your turn to make it more offensively powerful, and during your opponent's turn, making it a lot harder for the opponent to hit it. Sure, you have to Dynamize 2 in order to do all of this, but it seems solid, because you can make it pretty offensive and allow you to just deploy a lot more stuff with that Dynamize 2, or be more defensive, taking advantage of that plus 1,000 power during your turn and your opponent's turn, and just making sure that it's really hard to get in on Luffy. So, I just like it. It seems like it's doing a lot of stuff, and I really like the art. It's just super cool. I mean, pretty much any art in this game, I'm just gonna be like, it's cool, because it's One Piece. So, you know. Anyways, it's really cool. It's a really fun-looking leader. If the purple Luffy deck that I'm currently playing, the one that can ramp itself by taking away life, if that ever kind of gets banned or it kind of gets blown up, like it can't do much anymore, then this is probably the one that I'm going to go with, because this Luffy, it seems fun. So, yeah. Then, going down the line, I got Arlon. A new Arlon, and a pretty cool looking Arlon. I mean, look at that art. It's like neon. But anyways, it's a 3-cost 4k, 1k power character that says, on play, if your leader has the Fishman or East Blue type, give up to 1 rested Dawn card to one of your leaders. Then, up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. You really would want this to be a 5k power card, but to be fair, if it was, it might be a little bit too good, but honestly, I feel like it kind of needs it, because green ain't really the best, and, you know, this, I don't know. The fact that it's not a 5k power character isn't the best, but its on play is pretty solid, because there are some solid Fishman type leaders. I don't really think there are a ton of green, including East Blue type leaders that are notably strong. Like the new Jinbei from OP11 seems like it could be a pretty solid leader. It's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just innocuous. It just kind of gets good value over the course of the game. And this card could be a potential good card in it because it can rest some stuff down. It can make your deck a little bit more offensive when you need it to be. I don't know. Seems decent to me in that deck, potentially. And I kind of want it to be good because, you know, the neon art, like, I would be perfectly fine sitting down, playing a deck, and seeing that across the table just to look at the art. Because I get it. I've said a lot of the art's cool so far, but legitimately, this art is really cool. I'm not a fan of Arlon because, you know, he's a turd, but really cool art. But then there is Gaimon. Gotta love Gaimon. It's a 1-cost 1k counter that, if you have Sarfunkel, gets blocker. So, it's fine. I think it's gonna be more of a draft card, unfortunately. I would love to see Gaimon in constructed play, but I think this card's gonna be in draft because the other half of the combo, Sarfunkel, 2-cost, 0 power, 1k counter character that says on play, play up to 1 Gaimon from your hand. It's just kind of like a draft card, unfortunately. It's not doing too much. Her and Gaimon aren't doing too much, unfortunately. It sucks, but it's cool to, like, see in, like, draft or something like that. So, there is that. But then, there is Carrot, a 1-cost 0 power character with 2k counter and an on play of saying if you have 3 or more Dawn cards on your field, you get to look at the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Zoe, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, and play up to 1 Zoe from your hand. I'm pretty sure that's a stage from, I can't remember the name of the set, but still, getting to look at the top 7, get a little bit of extra card value and advantage and whatnot, plus the fact that this is a 2k counter, makes Carrot a decent card. Plus, I mean, it's just cool. I don't know. I like the kind of laid back art in One Piece. I get it. Wow. Likes the art again, but whatever. You can judge me all you want. I just love all the art in the world of One Piece because it's One Piece. But then there's Jewelry Bonnie, a 7-cost 7k 1k counter character that says on play, up to 1 of your opponent's rested characters will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase, which is pretty good in the Green Bonnie deck. One of the few green decks that I have been told is actually good, and I can see why, because the Green Bonnie deck is actually pretty solid looking, and this could be a really solid addition to it, and I think it's probably going to be played in it, or at least I would like to see that. But then set up to 1 of your Dawn cards as active at the start of this turn, making some potential defensive plays potentially possible and whatnot. I don't know. Seems like a really solid card. It can do a lot of work. It's a big body. It's got counter. So worst case scenario, you can counter it, or you can counter with it. It's got a really solid on play that can be really like powerful, allowing your opponent's offensive and potentially defensive to be way worse. In addition to making your defensive, you know, maybe just a little bit better. So all around just seems like a really solid card. But then, going down the line, I got Chopper Man, a 5-cost 6k 1k power counter, whatever, that says you also treat this card's name as Tony Chopper according to the rules, because Chopper Man, I mean, he's not Chopper Man, he's Tony Chopper. I mean, he's both. But anyways, it's got an on-play of playing up to 1 animal-type character with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. So it's a 5/6, and then you get to play another 3 cost from your hand, which is fine. I mean, that's decent enough. You could play, like, a Chopper Man, and then, boom, play a Tony Chopper. I mean, I get that you're probably not gonna be what you're wanting to do, but, like, you could do it. It could be cool. But yeah, I don't know, seems decent enough. I know that there's a Chopper deck out there that's like kind of focused on animals. Or there's like an animal focused deck. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it is like a red and green Chopper deck. This card could see playing it. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be the case, but seems like a decent card. in that deck, potentially. But then there is Nami, a 1-cost 2k, 1k counter that says on play you get to look at the top 5 of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type character other than Nami, add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Just a good old 1-cost, just searcher. Character that just allows you to get some card advantage if you need it. I mean, you're not going to go down on any cards in hand technically, but you get this, you get another thing, and you get a little peek in order to do so. This card is going to be the 1-cost card that's probably going to go in Luffy, either that or the Purple Law from OP09. But, I don't know, seems like a decent card. Plus this is, oh wait, never mind, it's rare. I don't know why I thought it was a common for a minute, because I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty good common. But no, it is a rare, just like Law. But still, it's a solid card. But then there is Buggy, a 4-cost 6k power character that has an on play of saying if you have no other Buggy characters, up to one of your leaders gains double attack during this turn. Double attack is a decent ability because if you can get that through to a leader, I mean, your opponent losing 2 life out of nowhere, that is powerful. I mean, that's part of the reason why I think Yamato is a really powerful budget deck, which, by the way, I am going to eventually do deck techs. I know I promised in the past I was going to do One Piece deck techs. I am going to do ones eventually, and that is going to be on the list. Green, yellow, Yamato. But Buggy here seems like a decent-ish card. I don't know. The fact that it doesn't have a counter isn't great, but it has a trigger of saying rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So it has a decent trigger. It has a decent on-play, if it can work. I mean, if it works, that's a pretty solid effect. And I would want there to be a counter on Buggy, but it's fine if there isn't. Well, it's not really that fine, but still, it's a fine card. I don't think it's a great card. I don't think it's going to be like the most insane card in the set, but it seems cool. Plus, who would have guessed? The art's cool because it's like rainbow shine in the top left corner. It's just shining down on Buggy because Buggy is the god, apparently. You can yell at me in the comments if you want about that one. But yeah, anyways, Roanoa Zoro. This card is cool. It's a 4-cost 5k, 1k counter, and it says if your opponent has 2 or more characters, which, I mean, that's not gonna really necessarily be a hard thing to do. This character can attack characters on the turn it is played, which, that's decent. And it has an on-play of saying if your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So this card, to me, seems like a pretty solid card, potentially, in the green-purple Luffy deck. I mean, this card, the Roanoa Zoro, 1, is likely going to be able to attack characters the turn that it is played. Worst case scenario, it can counter for 1k power, which, that's fine, and has an on-play of getting to rest stuff. So, if your opponent has a 4-cost character out that you really want to get rid of, then you can just play this, rest that character that they just played, and then I would assume that the opponent has 2 characters at that point. If they played a 4-cost, I imagine they played a 2-cost or something like that on previous turns, then this card gets to immediately, maybe potentially, kill that character. Which, for you, that seems pretty good. Not gonna lie, that seems pretty good for you. Let's just say in a random case scenario, or in a, I don't know, theoretically, let's say that you went first. You had 1 Dawn, your opponent, and you didn't do anything. Or maybe you played a green Nami. Then on your opponent's turn, they played, after getting 2 Dawn, a 2-cost character. Then on 3 Dawn, you played, I don't know, just a random thing. Maybe just like a chopper. I get that the red chopper wouldn't work in the green-purple Luffy, but whatever. But then, on the next turn, your opponent plays a 4-cost 6k that you really are wanting to get rid of. Maybe an overpowered previous Buggy that I was showing you. Then you play Zoro. On your turn, you have 5 Dawn. You give 1 Dawn to the Zoro. Your opponent has 2 or more characters. The on-play of Zoro rests that 4-cost 6k character that your opponent just played. And then boom, Zoro, boom, done with it. That character is gone. And if that character only has 5,000 power, like Zoro, Zoro can maybe even just trade in, or just kill it, without having to put any Dawn on it. Or you can get cards out of your opponent's hand, which is fine too, in my opinion. But it seems like an all-around solid card. But then there is We Are. More sketchbook art, which, who would have guessed, I like. It looks cool. It's a 2-cost event, green event, that says, as a main, you get to look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with the cost of 4 or more, and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. It's the exact same thing as the red one, except it's green, and it also has a trigger of activate this card's main effect. So, the literally exact same card. But yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, it's just like, it's cool looking, I guess. Don't judge me. But then, there is Gum Gum Giant Pistol. Really cool part of the story at Eni's lobby where Luffy finally defeats Lucci. And I mean, the first time that we saw this, it was just so cool. It was so freaking cool. But it's a 3-cost event that says, as a main, up to 1 of your Straw Hat Crew type characters gets plus 6,000 power during this turn, which is a gigantic buff. But then the selected character will not become active in your next refresh phase, which thematically is really cool, because very early on in Eni's lobby, whenever Luffy used Gear 3, just a massive punch. Sure, great offensive capabilities and power, but then he became tiny. And with this, massive offensive capabilities, but then the character kind of becomes useless for a minute. And the trigger on this card ain't bad either, because you get to rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, because Green loves doing that. But for a common, this seems like a decent card. I hope that this gets played in a deck, because thematically this card is perfect. But whatever, I like the card. It's really cool to me. But anyways, that's it with green. Now we're on to blue. Starting off with Usopp, a 4-cost 5k 1k counter with a on play of saying if you have 2 or less characters with 5k power or more, play up to 1 of your opponent, play up to 1 character card with 6k power or less and no base effect from your hand. In draft, this card seems fine. Outside of draft, I don't know what this would be played in, but it doesn't seem great to me, in my opinion. I mean, if you have this and 1 other 5k power or more character, you get to play another character with 6k power or less with no effects. I mean, that doesn't seem great. It seems fine, just not great. But then there is Crocodile, a 4-cost 5k 1k counter that says during your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's character is returned, when your opponent's character is returned to the owner's hand by your effects, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So whenever you get to, bounce your opponent's stuff, you get to get a little bit of card advantage, kind of getting to take a little peek at the top, getting some scribe value if you've ever played Magic the Gathering before, but seems like a fine card. I forgot the deck that's doing this. It's like bouncing stuff back, but Crocodile seems like a fine card, in my opinion. Plus, I mean, 5k. Like, that's kind of the mark. With a 4-cost card, as long as it's able to, like, have that 5k power more, like, that's also solid. And the fact that it has a counter for 1k, like, it seems like a solid card. Seems like a solid card. And it can do some stuff. But then there is Sogeking, a 4-cost 5k 1k counter character that says you also treat this card's name as Usopp according to the rules. Even though I think Sogeking and Usopp are different characters, like Sogeking was the original, whatever. Theory version for a different day. But on play, you draw 2 cards and place 2 cards from your hand at the bottom of your deck in any order. So, okay, that seems decent. Then you return up to 1 character with the cost of 1 or less to the owner's hand. I think in the latest Usopp deck, the Dressrosa Usopp deck, 1-cost characters are really important, and you'll want to get value out of them repeatedly, and I think this card's really good in that deck. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. You can scream at me all you want, because I have not been able to do much with One Piece in a minute, because I've been focusing on some other stuff. But still, this card seems solid. And the fact that, you know, you can bounce, like, if you have a 1-cost character that gets to look at the top 5, gets a thing that you want, like, you can bounce one of those back to your hand, in addition to drawing 2, and then, kind of discarding 2, but a little bit worse, because you're putting them on the bottom of your deck. I don't know, seems like a solid card for a common. It seems great in draft. Outside of draft, I want to say that it'll see play, because it seems good, but who knows. But then there is Don Quixote Rocinante. 2-cost, 3k, 1k counter character that says, activate main, you rest one of your Don cards and this character, and if your leader is Don Quixote Rocinante, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and place up to 1 character with a cost of 2 or less rested. Okay, fine. And then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. Seems like a decent card, allows you to get a little bit of card advantage, sort of. I mean, you only get to play something with a cost of 2 or less, and it has to be rested, unfortunately. So, it seems decent-ish. I mean, the fact that it can repeatedly get card advantage, sure, it's only for cards that cost 2 or less, seems like it could be decent, but I just don't really think it'll make the cut. In draft, who knows, maybe it could be good. But then there is Nefertari Vivi. 3-cost, 2k, 1k counter character that says, on play, if your leader is multicolored and you have 5 or less cards in your hand, you draw 2 cards. I mean, the fact that you get to draw cards, you know, I'm always a fan of that. I mean, that's good. I mean, sure, it's only a 2k character, but the fact that you can draw cards seems fine. Worst case scenario, again, you can counterfeit for 1k power, which is fine enough. Plus, it's Vivi. I mean, if you don't like Vivi and her character, then get out. But, yeah, it's just like, it's an all-around cool card. But then there is Vista, a 4-cost, 5k, 1k counter character that says, on play, place up to 1 of your opponent's characters with 1k power or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. I mean, it's fine. It's not great. I don't think it's going to really see play outside of maybe draft, but yeah, it's not great. Thankfully, it's only a common, so, like, if it's a rare, like, you draw it, then you kind of feel bad, but it's not, so hopefully you don't draw, like, it in an important slot, but anyways. Then there's Portgas the Ace, 5-cost, 5k, 1k counter character with an on-play of saying if your leader type includes Whitebeard Pirates, which, you know, Ace likes that a lot. You can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 character with a cost of 2, and add it to your hand, then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order, then play up to 1 character with a cost of 2 from your hand, rested. This card, it seems fine. It's kind of like that Rocinante that we saw just a little bit ago, except it can actually swing for 5,000 power. It also has a counter of 1k counter, but this costs 5, whereas the Rocinante, I believe, only costs 2. So, plus Rocinante was repeatable. With Ace, it's just 1 and done. So it seems fine. I don't think it's insane, but I don't know. It's not great. But it's cool because, you know, Alabasta Ace. But then there is Grandpa Ryu, which, if you don't know who this character is, I don't blame you, because it was in filler. But still, it's a 3-cost, 5k character with a 1k counter. It's a good vanilla. Which, hey, vanillas and Usopp, you know, they kind of package. So, you know, you could Usopp in the Grandpa Ryu. Who knows? I don't think that's a great combo, but you could do it. But then there is... and that's when somebody makes fun of their friend's dream. Which, if you remember this moment in One Piece, we all thought that Usopp was going to die for the 50th time, but he didn't, somehow. But then, this card, it's a 2-cost event that says, counter, if your character would be KO'd in battle during his turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand instead. And it's got a trigger drawing a card. So it makes it kind of like a one-time get-out-of-jail-free card for one of your characters getting KO'd, which is fine. You do have to go down 2 cards in your hand, this card and another, in order to do that, which isn't great. But it's only a common, it's not going to take up a rare slot, so like worst case scenario, if you draw it, then it's not as big of a feels bad because it's in a common slot. But its trigger is fine because, you know, drawing cards is drawing cards, right? You know? And, you know, yeah, it's, decent-ish. But then there is Hope, which is the blue version of the other, sketchbook art events that we have seen. It's a 2-cost event. Main, look at the top 4 of your deck, reveal up to a card with the cost of 4 or more, add to your hand, place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order, and it's got a trigger to activate the main. Yeah, I mean, this art looks cool, cooler than some of the others because, I mean, it's from Whole Cake, and Whole Cake is one of my favorite arcs in all of One Piece. If you want me to do a tier list for all the arcs in One Piece, leave a comment down below. But Hope seems fine. I mean, it's like all the others, which are like decent cards, not great cards, but they're decent cards. But then, getting to purple, we got Iceberg to start off, a 1-cost 0 power character with a counter for 2k. And it has an on-play of if you have 3 or more Dawn cards on your field, you get to look at the top 7 cards. You get to look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Galley Law Company, and then add it to your hand. Then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order, and play up to 1 Galley Law Company from your hand. Galley Law Company is an event from a previous set back in EB03, I want to say. It might be 4. But Iceberg is a card. The fact that it has a 2k counter is good because, I mean, if it didn't, I think this card wouldn't be too great. But in the Galley Law deck, this card probably will see play because I'm pretty sure that the Galley Law Company stage is one of the more important cards in the deck. It's kind of like the engine of the deck, in a sense, from what I remember. But the card's fine outside of that deck. No, not really. But then there's Klaboutermon, a 1-cost 0 power character with a counter of 1k, and it says if you have the Going Merry, it says Merry Go, but it's the Going Merry, on your field, this character gets blocker. I love the Going Merry. And the first time that I read the manga, when I saw Merry Go, it made me kind of do like a double take. It's like, it's Going Merry. And it's like, oh, I don't know. I was sad about that for whatever reason. Because, like, the Going Merry, just the name stuck with me so hard, especially after Enies Lobby, or post Enies Lobby, technically. But, yeah, that was sad. But the Klaboutermon is cool. Plus, it's a sprite, which, I don't know. I just like saying the name of characters like that. It's a sprite, because, you know, sprite. I don't know. It's early in the morning, guys. Don't judge me. 4-cost Kome. It's a Foxy Parasite card? When was this in a Foxy Pirates? Whatever. Anyways, it's a 4-cost 6k power character with a counter of 1k. It's meh. It's another vanilla draft card. Which, who knows, maybe combos with Usopp. Who knows? But then there is Sanji and Pudding. This card, whoo! This card is kinda dumb. It's a 5-cost 7k. I mean, if you could tell by the price, it's 18 bucks. So you would think that this card does a lot of stuff. But it's a 5-cost 7k power character, which already great start. During your turn, once per turn. I don't know why it said your turn, opponent's turn. I was like, wait, what? During your turn, once per turn, when 2 or more Dawn cards on your field are returned to your Dawn deck, I don't know, maybe in the EB02 Luffy deck, perhaps? Add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active, which in that Luffy deck, that green-purple Luffy deck, holy buckets, that is good. Basically, like, you rest all your Dawn, then you Dawn -2, and you get 3 Dawn rested, and you only go down 1 Dawn. That's dumb. Plus, it's got an on-play of saying if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, you draw a card. So it replaces itself, essentially. It's pretty much going to do that a lot of the time. Plus, it's purple, so you can manipulate your way to make sure that it's easier to, be able to do that. And your turn once per turn, allowing you to repeatedly take that much more advantage of the purple-green EB02 Luffy Leader, activation, is dumb. Dumb. If you know what I mean. It doesn't have a counter, but I don't think it matters, because if you want to always be playing this card in that deck. You always want to. So that's really cool. But then, there is Nico Robin. This card is cool, because it's Robin. But it's a 3-cost 2k power character with a 1k counter and blocker. And on KO, Dawn -1, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat crew type card, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So basically, you get a blocker. When it dies, you can go down to Dawn and basically replace Nico Robin with another card in your hand. And in the purple-green Luffy deck, your deck's going to be packed full of Straw Hat type cards, and this card basically just says it's easier for that to happen, or easier for you to have Straw Hat crew type cards, access to them. Plus, you can get Gum Gum Giant. It's not just getting a character, it's a card, so you can get some cards outside of characters that are powerful, like a Gum Gum Giant, so that's cool too. It's not like a busted insane card, but it's not a bad card either. So, there is that. But then there is Frankie, a 3-cost 4k, 1k counter character with an on-play and 1 attacking effect that says if your leader has a Straw Hat crew type and the number of Dawn on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, which new Luffy in pretty much every purple Luffy deck ever is okay, should be easy enough to do. You get to add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So ramping, that ain't a bad effect. I really wish that this had 5k power, because that would make this really good. But it doesn't, which I think is probably going to push this card off, in that EB02 Luffy deck. Who knows? Maybe it still sticks. I don't really know, because I haven't been paying attention to the list for that deck, because I know it's been out for a minute. But anyways, Frankie seems like a decent card, in my opinion. But then there is Magellan, 3-cost 4k, 1k power character with an on-play of saying play up to 1 Impelled Down, I don't know why I said Dawn, Impelled Down type character with a cost of 2 or less from your hand. It does not come into play rested, might I add, but I don't know. Impelled Down decks, notably, like the Galley Law decks and purple decks for the longest time, not really that great, but its card is fine. If it had 5k power, it would be quite a bit better in my opinion, but it doesn't, so I don't think it's gonna really be, I don't think people are gonna care about it. But then there is Germa 66, which are cool. But it's a 4-cost event with a main effect of saying you may trash 1 Germa 66 type character with 4k power or less from your hand. And then, if you do that, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than than the number on your opponent's field, play up to 1 character with 5k or 7 or with 5k to 7k power and the same card name as the trash card from your hand. The way the Germa 66 works and the Germa 66 decks work is there's basically the kid versions of the Germa 66 characters and the adult versions. And you're using the kid versions to get the adult versions. And the kid versions are smaller and they're 4k power less. And the adult versions are all from 5k power to 7k power. So you can get the baby gone and get the adult in. That sounded weird. But the card's fine. It's not insane. I don't know if it'll be played in that deck. Honestly, no, I don't think so. I don't really think it'll be played. It's not great. It's fine, but it's not great. Plus, it's only a common, so, I mean, hopefully, like, you won't draw too much of it, like, worst case scenario, if you're not wanting to play the German 66 deck, and you're opening EB02. But then, there is Brand New World, which I'm pretty sure is the name of one of the One Piece openings, but maybe I'm wrong. But then there's, well, obviously there is, because all the ones that have been seen so far are all names for the One Piece openings. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, it's a 2-cost event that says, as a main, you get to look at the top 4. It's the same as all the other events. I'm not going to read it again. Brand New World. This is the one, I believe, from Dressrosa. I mean, it's got Dressrosa art, so I would assume it's from Dressrosa. So, yeah. It's cool. It's a cool card. Like all the others. Like, the sketchbook art, I think is cool. But then there's the Merry-Go. Not the Going Merry, which kind of ticks me off. But anyways, Merry-Go. It's a 1-cost stage with an enclave saying, if your leader has the Straw Hat crew type, you draw a card. So, yeah, okay. And it has an activate main of saying you may rest this stage, and if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of cards than the number on your opponent's field, up to one of your Straw Hat crew type characters gets +2 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it can, black cares a lot about cost, and it can kill stuff depending on the cost of stuff. Normally, if it has like a cost, like really low cost, like 0, then it can kill it, and it shrinks the cost of stuff, and this can allow you to up the cost of your stuff, so it's harder for your opponent to kill it. It seems fine. Plus, you know, it can potentially filter, so that's cool too. I don't think it's gonna really be like an insane card that you play in all the purple Straw Hat decks, but who knows? But then, getting into black, not the last color, because they're still yellow. But anyways, then we got All Hunt Grunt. It's a 6-cost, it's a vanilla. It's a 6-cost, 8k, 1k power, 1k counter. And, you know, it's another draft card. What can I say? I mean, the art's cool, because, you know, like Cyborg, arm, you know, yeah, anyways. But then there is Jonathan, another vanilla. It's a 7-cost 9k vanilla character with a 1k counter. So, that's cool. Plus, you know, this is from the best filler kind of block in all of One Piece. So, that's cool, too. But then there is Sengoku, super rare. And it's a fine super rare, in my opinion. It's a 7-cost 7k power character with a counter of 1. And blocker, and an on-play of saying, play up to 1 black Navy type character with a cost of 4 less from your trash rested. Black cares a lot about the trash, getting a ton of crap into the trash. This has a blocker, so I mean, sure, it's a 7-cost 7k, which ain't the best, but, you know, you get another card out of it, and this has blocker. So, like, you get to play this, get another character. You get to use it as a potential threat or a way to play defensive and make sure that it's harder for your opponents to get in on you. In worst case scenario, you can counter with it for 1k power, which ain't bad either. So, all around, the card is solid, in my opinion. Is it the Sanji and Pudding? No. Sanji and Pudding is dumb. But, this card's pretty good too. But then there is Trafalgar Law, which the art is really cool for this. Like, kind of the outline is kind of like glowy, almost. It's like he's about to go Sulon for some reason. I mean, he's not a Mank, but for some reason, like, I feel like it looks like he's about to go Sulon. But it's a 5-cost 6k blocker, again, with a counter of 1k, again, and an on-play of saying you may place 2 cards from your trash on the bottom of your deck in any order. Which, again, trash, big deal in black. But then you get to choose one if you do that. Either drawing a card, so you don't go down any cards in hand, or if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes a card from their hand. This card, I would say it's a little bit worse. I mean, it's close to as powerful as Sengoku, maybe a little bit worse. But this card is still pretty good because it can basically say, hey, I'm just going to play this, not go down any cards in hand, pretty much, or I'm going to make my opponent get rid of one of their cards in hand, But it's unfortunate that it's only if they have 5 or more cards in their hand. Like, if they were down low in hand, and you just played this, got rid of some of the cards in your trash that weren't really good to you, and then boom, make them trash, like maybe their last card or one of their last 2 cards in hand, that's really good for you. But I don't know, it's still a solid card nonetheless. I mean, it's a 5-cost 6k blocker, which compared to Sengoku, which is a 7-cost 7k blocker, it's pretty, I don't know, that's good, in my opinion. But then there is Hilden, 3-cost 3k 2k counter card in black character. But then it has an on-play of trashing 2 cards from the top of your deck and giving up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. Trashing, again, big deal. Making your opponent's stuff cost less, big deal. Because you want your opponent's stuff to have a cost of 0 or close to that in order to kill him. And this card can do that. Plus, it's got a 2k counter, which ain't too bad either. But then, there is Bueno. I said that wrong. Anyways, it's a 5-cost 6k 1k counter with an activate main of saying you may trash 1 card from your opponent's hand and trash this character. So cool. Yeah, but it has a following effect, obviously, of getting to play up to 1 character with a type, including CP, and a cost of 5 or less other than Bueno from your trash. So you can kind of do something similar to Sengoku. You can get some basically extra value out of your trash because your trash, big deal, you put his stuff in there, and then you can use this card to maybe get a potentially really powerful card, permitting that it has a CP9 type. But still, seems like a fine card, plus CP9 is like not an uncommon type in black. But still, this card, it seems decent. I mean, it's only a common, and I feel like it does a decent amount for a common, which is good, because I like when commons do that. But that, yeah, it's a solid card. But then there is Brook, a 5-cost 6k 1k counter character that has an on-play of adding 1 Laboon from your trash to your hand. And Laboon, if you don't know, is a really powerful black card. One of the more expensive black cards. I'm pretty sure it was printed in OB01, so it's kind of cool. It's like a callback to OB01. But it also has an on-KO of playing up to 1 Laboon with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. So that's pretty cool too, because Brook cares a lot about Laboon, and you get to get some Laboons from your trash to your hand, and you can potentially play said Laboons all in one convenient little package. Plus, this 5-cost little package comes in for 6k, and it has a counter of 1k, so that ain't too bad either. Is it like an insane card that's going to go in a lot of black decks? Probably, realistically not, but it's still a solid card. But then there's Monkey D. Garp. And this card, this is Marine Fruit art, and it is some really cool Marine Fruit art. Well, it's a 5-cost 6k Navy-type character that says, on play, you may give up to 2 Rested Dawn cards to your leader, and it has an activate main of saying you may rest this character, and if your leader is Monkey D. Garp, K up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. One of the original black decks was Garp from OB02. I think it was either OP02 or OP03, and I'm pretty sure it was OP02. And this card, I mean, that deck isn't really that good. That Garp deck is not too good, but this card, I think it could be decent in that deck. So, who knows? But then there is Kokoro no Chizu. This, I know what this is definitely like a One Piece opening song. Like, they're all One Piece opening songs, but I'm currently rewatching the One Piece anime, and I'm currently in the Water 7 arc where this is the opening. So, I know this because I saw it plenty of times yesterday, and not so far this morning, but I'm probably going to on my way up to the mountains. But anyways, this card, it's the same thing as all the others, except it's the black one. So, yeah. Then there is 3-pace Hum Soul Notch Slash. Some of the names for these attacks, I mean, I haven't gotten to say it to like a lot of people, but like the names for some of these attacks are just like so, they're funny to me because it's like a half a paragraph. This one isn't, but like some of the ones are like half a paragraph, which is cool because I mean some of the names have a lot of hidden meaning to them, and they are really cool names and really intriguing names because it's like, oh, that might hint to something. But some of them is just kind of like funny. He's just like 15 words, but yeah. It's a 3-cost event. It says, as a main, you can choose one. KO up to one of your opponent's characters that costed 2 or less, which Black, cares about shrunken cost, and this could potentially allow you to kill some of the things with a shrunken cost. Or give it to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn. So it does a little bit of both. It can shrink some stuff, and it can maybe KO some stuff that's already shrunken. Or maybe not shrunken, and you just kill one of your opponent's little dudes. I don't know why you would do that, but you can. But this card seems fine. I mean, I don't really think it's going to be played in a lot of decks, but it's a good card in like a draft format for sure, in black. But then getting to yellow, and the first card we got is a sick looking Enel. I mean, look at this card. It's a 10-cost, 11,000 power character in yellow. And it says, if your leader has the Sky Island type, this character gets Rush. So it can come in for a buttload of damage. Very, very big. Very, very big card. And when attacking, you may trash 1 card from your hand. And if you have 1 or less life cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, then this character gets plus 1,000 power during this turn. Because it doesn't have enough already. But this card is dumb, because in the Enel deck, a pretty solid yellow deck that has, the Sky Island type, obviously, because it's Enel, this card can, 1, get Rush, and when attacking, allow you to make your life, kind of like comfort it a little bit more, make sure that it's a little bit harder for your opponent to kill you, and this card just gets bigger. So, I mean, it's normally going to be a 10-cost, 12k power attacker, 11k on defense. You get to attack with it immediately, and, you get to, like, just make your life a little bit more, healthy. I don't know what that is. But anyways, it's a really solid card. It's, like, a really solid card, in my opinion. But then, more yellow cards. Miskina Olga. I don't know what type of character that is, but it's a 3-cost, 4k power character with a 1k counter that has an on-play and on KO of getting to look at up to 1 card from the top of your or your opponent's life cards and place it at the top or bottom of your life cards. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not insane, but it's a fine effect. But then there is Sanji. A 5-cost 6k, 1k power character with a blocker, so good start. And an on-play of if you have 2 or less life cards, you get to draw 2, then trash 1 for your hand. The thing that's kind of hilarious about this, because this is pretty similar to that Trafalgar Law, the one that's kind of like almost going Suon almost because of the art, because of the like moonlit outline. But this is kind of similar to Sanji. The Sanji is kind of similar to that Law. Because, this card can essentially allow you to draw a card. I mean, you draw 2, but then you have to trash 1. So you basically aren't going to go down 2 cards in hand, or go down any cards in hand. But that's only if you have 2 or less life cards. And it's also 5-cost 6k blocker, and it also has a counter 1k. So I think that's funny that this is rare, and Law is a super rare. Now, granted, Law is better. And, it can make your opponent potentially trash cards, so all-around good stuff. But still, Sanji seems solid for a rare. Seems good. Then, I got Jinbei, a 4-cost 5k, okay, and it has a counter of 2k, which is very, very good stuff. And as a trigger of saying if your leader has the Fishman or Motorfolk type, and you have 2 or less life cards, you get to play it. So, pretty good stuff. The art's kind of cool because it's kind of like more casual art. It's not like crazy insane. Anyways, it's cool. I mean, it counters for 2 and comes in for 5,000 power. Stuff that I really like. And it has a decent trigger too. But then there is Vegapunk. It's a 5-cost 0 power character, which hilarious start in my opinion, and it counters for 1,000 power. and it has blocker. And it has an unplay of saying you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, play up to 1 scientist-type character with a cost of 5 or less other than Vegapunk, then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order, and if your opponent has 2 or less characters, you trash 1 card from your hand. And it has a trigger of allowing you to draw a card. So, this card's kind of funny to me, because, you know, it's a 5-cost 0 power character, because Vegapunk is kind of useless when it comes to combat, but I think that's just kind of funny to me. He costs so much, and it's just nothing. But he blocks, and he can get, like, a thing. Like, he can play stuff for free. You get to look at the top 5, play stuff. It's like, that's pretty good. And you can potentially make your opponent trash cards, and it counters for 1k, and has a trigger of allowing you to draw a card. So even though it's a 5-cost 0 power character, it does a lot of work. So that's cool. That, like, something can have 0 power, cost 5, and still do a lot. Because in the Vegapunk deck, this card, you know, you put it in immediately. Because that deck, it has some issues, but man, this card is very, very good in that deck. But then, there is Mad Treasure, a 4-cost 5k, 1k power character that has a when attacking effect of saying you may trash 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards, or you may add up to 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand, and then add to 1 of your opponent's characters that costed 3 or less to the top or bottom of your opponent's life cards face up. So it's a little bit of interaction, plus, you know, it's a 4-cost 5k power. You know, I'm always a fan of that. Something that has 5k power. I'm a fan of that. And it counters for 1k, which ain't too bad either. It's all around cool stuff. It's not great, but it's cool. But then there is Us! I like this one because, you know, I like Egghead a lot. It is officially in my top 5 One Piece arcs ever. I mean, it was before, but, like, thanks to the anime, like, the art, like, I was, like, trying to figure out the other day what my top 5 arcs were in all of One Piece, and then I watched the latest episode of One Piece, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what the 5 is, and I'm trying to remember what it is, and I watched that episode, and I'm like, right, it was Egghead. Why did I not remember that? Because this arc is kind of sick. But anyways, this card's really cool. And it's the same thing as all the other Sketchbook 2-cost events. They get to look at the top 4, you get to get a thing, and then it's a cost of 4 more, and you add it to your hand, and it's got a trigger, you get to play it, essentially. So, cool card. And I like the Sketchbook card. But then there is, without your help, I can't become the king of the pirates. This was a very emotional scene in Whole Cake, and, you know, this whole Sanji and Luffy little bit going on in Whole Cake was part of the reason that Whole Cake is one of my favorite arcs in all One Piece. But yeah, it's a cool card because, you know, it highlights that. But anyways, it's a 4-cost event with a counter of saying up to 1 of your leader or character cards gets plus 1,000 power for this battle, which for 4-cost is not good, but there's more, quite a bit more. But then, if you have 1 or less life cards, you get to play up to 1 of your Yellow Straw Hat crew type characters, or Sanji with the cost of 5 or less from your hand. So you only get to counter for 1,000 power, which ain't great for 4-cost, but you get to play something for free out of it. And who knows, maybe that's a blocker, and I don't believe, like, after you counter, you can use blockers for stuff, like to block, like, if something's coming at one of your leaders. That's not how that works, unfortunately. I mean, it makes sense. But anyways, for this card, like, it's unfortunate. But, I mean, you can play a blocker, potentially. Or you can just play a good value card that allows you to maybe get some more hits in on your opponent on the next turn. But all around, it's a solid card. But then there is the Merry-Go, the Going Merry. It's the Going Merry. But it's a 2-cost stage that has an activate main of saying you may rest this stage and turn 1 card from the top of your life cards face up. And up to 1 of your Straw Hat crew type characters gets plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. If it said or leaders, that would be really solid. Unfortunately, that is not the case, which makes this card quite a bit worse but it's still decent. The art's funny because, you know, it's during the Sky Island arc when the Sunny just flew right up the knock-up stream and looked like a chicken with wings flying because, you know, that's how chickens work. But it's a funny card. But then there is all the cool looking cards, all the cool art cards. And a lot of these, you know, aren't in the main set. They're just like cool bonus leaders from past sets. Some of them are like cool art cards from this set, like the Vegapunk and the Luffy and the leaders, some of the cards. But there is one card left, and that card is Monkey D. Luffy himself from Enies Lobby, from one of the best arcs in all of One Piece. And you can yell at me all you want. This card is, like, Enies Lobby is amazing. And this card is pretty good, too. I mean, as you can see, it's $71, making it a pretty pricey card. But it's a 6-cost character, purple character with 7,000 power, and, you know, a couple of lines of text. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, this character gets Rush. So in that EB02 purple-green Luffy deck, I don't know, this card seems like it's got a pretty good start to it already. But when attacking once per turn, you may return 2 of your active Dawn cards to your Dawn deck. Such as, I don't know, maybe the ones you can set as active by using the purple-green EB02 Luffy activation. So if you do that, which seems pretty easy to do, you get to set this character as active. Then add to 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. Sure, you have to add life to your hand, but the fact that this can attack twice in a turn, the turn that it is played, because of its first effect, is stupid. Like, stupid. It's very, very stupid. It's a really cool card, though. It's a really, really, really cool card. And it's obviously the best card in the set because, you know, it's a Luffy, it's a secret rare, it's purple, which is my favorite color in the One Piece trading card game. But yeah, all around, really, really sick card. Plus the alternate art, if I can find it, is pretty sick, too. I mean, look at this card. Sure, you're not going to really see too many copies of it because it costs only over $1,000, but it's still a cool card. But anyways, that is the video. Hopefully you all enjoyed this set. It's cool. I'm probably not going to get a ton of it because I'm probably not going to be able to find it, but it's really cool. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's completely for your own credits. And I cannot wait to go over some decks in the future for videos, for stuff. And I'm probably going to do a deck video for this purple-green EB02 Luffy deck at some point. But see you next time, everybody, and enjoy.